Hey everybody, welcome back to Jordan Lee Tarot. Oscar's just out of frame. And he won't come into frame. All right, we have the Ethereal Visions for our tarot deck. We have the Wisdom of the Oracle. And we have the Goddess Guidance Oracle card. I was putting my affiliate links in a previous reading, and I hadn't used this deck yet. And I linked it, I think it's like $75 on Amazon. There are places where you can get used versions of some of these decks a lot cheaper. So I'm going to try to find that, but I thought that was bananas expensive, probably because it's out of print and someone is selling it for way too much money. So understand that I think I paid $15 for this deck back in 2018. So if I find a cheaper option, I will link that in the description. Okay. So let's get started and see what wants to leap out for today. I have definitely felt Oscar sticking close by me today, as he sometimes does, but today I think he is offering me much needed support. And just a shout out to all of our familiars that really do understand when we're feeling stressed, taxed, emotionally depleted in whatever way that is, and just allow them to help you because they're awesome and they're here to do that. So, yes, isn't that right, boo boo? All right, so we have the Two of Wands. It's so funny. He's like right there. And every time I try to pull him into frame, he's like, no. And the World. Okay. So this feels like the end of a cycle, and you're kind of watching it happen, and you're excitedly watching a cycle end. Okay? You're letting it can you see him? He's excitedly watching this cycle as it comes to a close. Do you want in it? Come here. He does it. Okay. All right. I swear. He does this all the time. He's a miniature dachshund. He's black and tan. He's 11 years young. Are you shy? All right, Spirit, what do we need? Blossoming, you are just getting started, so have patience with yourself and the process. Do not give up. Okay. This feels like an ending, and you're excitedly watching it come to a close. You're watching the last of the embers burn, and you're ready to come into something new. You're just getting started. Man, I don't know about you, but it feels like sometimes you have so many new starts, fresh beginnings, that sometimes they can start to lose some of their meaning. And I say that as someone who's had a lot of stop starts in my own life. And I think that, spend time near water. Water is very healing and cleansing, but it's also, I think, talking about the quality of the water that you're drinking. If you notice here, look at the World card. And then look at the Blossoming card. How similar. How similar. This is giving Fantasia vibes for some reason. If you've never seen Fantasia, it's just so beautiful theatrically, musically. It's something I remember watching as a child in like my music theory class, and I never got over that. But there's this beautiful scene where after winter and devastation take over, yes, there's this like dead gray to the land. It looks barren. And this little, goddess of spring pops up, and she starts reanimating everything. And it's this deep cosmic understanding that What was dry will now be made lush and wet and vibrant, and life will pop through again. I mean, this could definitely be just that state of winter coming into spring, but it could echo that in cycles of our lives, that we came into the fire horse. Oh, I'm sorry. His nose is so big. Sorry. Okay. We come into this fire horse year, which is the Chinese zodiac, and there's an importance to that. There's a kickstart to that. But there's also the resetting of the natural cycles and understanding that maybe the first of the year really is springtime. So you're talking the end of March, which right now, as I record this, we're at the very beginning of March. And I think this is definitely a message of hold on, spring is coming. The spring of your life is coming, and actual spring is coming. I check in with my certain friends, and my one friend said, I'm doing okay, but I really don't winter well. And she gets that seasonal depression, and it's very overwhelming for her. And back where I'm from in Pennsylvania, they've been having a crap ton of snow. I mean, the East Coast is just getting a ton of snow this winter. And I think she's just really over it and ready for spring. So there's that very visceral, internal bodily reaction to winter. But then there is the more hidden wintering of cycles within the self. And how does that pop through into spring? Again, everything just feels to me like it's coming out of a containment and getting larger and spreading out. And so maybe that's what I'm sensing, a spreading out, a spreading out. He looks like he's at this tower that's sort of limiting him, and he's looking down at like this big expansive everything below him. So I think this is the want to spread out, the want to get bigger, literally in the self, get bigger. Looking at, again, her opening up from something smaller to expansion. And there's something about water continuing to flow, that when water is stuck and stagnates, it gets really gross. Water is alive. It wants to flow. It wants to move. The energy wants to pick up and move. And we're definitely at that point where, coming out of winter into spring, you want to physically move. You want to physically be going and doing, adventuring. Not to say you can't do that stuff in winter, but it just feels less important at that point in the year. No place like home. Coming back to a grounded, steady center space. This could feel like, what I'm getting is like someone who's been living as a nomad, and they're finally settling, into a place that feels like home. Someone who's had to maybe live in a confined space, and now they can spread out because they have a secure place to be, where they can actually like spread out their belongings, see things a little bit better. I think we forget that real luxury is space. To me, real luxury is having room, having space, not having to jam all of your possessions in one teeny tiny corner. I think tiny house living is beautiful for a time, for a season, and especially in locations where there's so much outdoor living spaces. But I don't think I could do it. There's just too much confinement on the floor. I like to pop into yoga poses throughout the day, stretch, move, jump around, work out in the morning, maybe work out in the evening, but definitely moving throughout the day, especially when I sit at my desk. And so I understand that need for floor space, that I just don't feel like people have had. It's this situation. It's like you've been living like you're in a tiny house. And maybe that could be emotionally, maybe that could be physically. I don't know. There's something about expansion here, just getting bigger. Think of those small little towels, like a tiny little weird pill shaped thing. You put it in water and it expands into a huge towel. That's really what I'm getting here. And there's something about water being the activator for that. This is such a weird message. I'm sorry. I always giggle at some of these messages. All right. Truth be told. Speaking clarity through confusion. That's for darn sure. And a loyal heart. Okay. I'm going to look up truth be told. Okay. Are you willing to do whatever it takes to enjoy the prosperous life that you desire? Do you make your art a priority if you want to be an artist? If you want to be a healer, do you set time aside to learn new things to help you serve? A writer must write, a singer must sing. Be true to your calling, and that is essential to you moving forward. There's also another message here, too, that it's time to have a real honest look about your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs about prosperity, how it relates to money, what is true for me, and what is your key to finding abundance. And with that came out the loyal heart. So this could talk about truly coming into alignment with abundance and prosperity, but not look, there's a lot of systems in place in our world that really don't allow us to grow and thrive as human beings. There are so many systems put in place that I really feel limit us. And this is talking about the water here. I think that's proper emotion, because the water in all of tarot is about emotion, right? That overflowing cup, it's overflowing emotion. I think it's very, very possible that this collective has not seen how stifled they have been. They've been living in this tight little constricted space, and then they realize, oh my gosh, when I really get honest about how I feel about this way of living, this way of being, it really calls for expansion. I need more space. I'm getting bigger. My space needs to get bigger. I need to be able to spread out. I need to be able to breathe. I need to be able to, all of these things, right? And it's about staying loyal and true to what is deeply within you. I think we take it for granted that we were made to be free. We take that for granted, and we shove ourselves into small spaces, whether that be a relationship that doesn't fit, a job that doesn't fit, an actual living space that doesn't fit. And I say this knowing that there's a housing crisis. I know that saying, this home card came out. So I think that this sense of home is very, very important, very, very central to this message. And I say that as someone who has lived in situations that were less than ideal and came out into expansion and had to go back into constriction. And, I've done a bit of yo-yoing back and forth with that energy in my own life. But there's something here about staying true to you and what you truly want and need, and getting honest with yourself about your entire life. Are you doing the things you know will lead you to what you need to do? And for me personally, I've found that consistency and small effort is the thing that allows me to stay the course for a long period of time. And I've actually gotten frustrated with that process sometimes. I've gotten frustrated with that process. I've gotten so angry with that process. He knows. He knows. Ooh, you're such a baby. Go outside. It's time for you to get some fresh air. So, the obvious message, yes, of course, More time outside is never a bad thing. But this is about expansion. This truly, truly is about expansion. And I hope that this message finds you in the way that it needs to find you. It's going to hit you the way it needs to hit you. But there is something here about allowing for that expansion, but making active choices that allow and encourage that expansion as well. So there's something very, very profound here. This is so multi-layered. I'm going to get one more, maybe two more. Three of Pentacles. I got this card right when I began to shuffle. That card popped out. And so this leads me to believe this was always meant to be a part of this message. Let's clarify, little doodle bear. My little mascot. My little cheerleader for today. He's the best. All right. So I have the Sun card and the Three of Pentacles. So this talks about things that are coming together, but only after you get really honest with yourself. So the Moon card is the Sun card's opposite. And the Moon card is very flowy, very watery, but it's also a card of possible deception and illusion because things are not fully illuminated. In the Sun card, we go direct with, trying to get that to focus. We go direct with the energy because the sunshine illuminates everything. Nothing is hidden anymore. And that speaks to this, speak the truth card, truth be told. This is like, do not hide the truth from yourself. Okay. You know what you want. So make it known to yourself. Say it out loud. This is about saying the damn thing that you really want. Don't hide it anymore. And the Three of Pentacles kind of wraps this up in the fact that things are coming together. They will come together if you continue to make choices that lead you to where you want to go. But you have to be honest with yourself, and you have to be loyal to those deep, dark, not even dark, but just those deep things within you that you know that you want. And maybe this is truly about, I want to have children. Or maybe this is truly, I don't want a relationship right now. Whatever extreme of that you're experiencing, maybe it's that I really don't want to work with other people. I want to work by myself. That's beautiful. Maybe it's that I'm tired of working for myself. I really want to be a part of a team. Then stay loyal to what that is for you, because we're all on different timelines, experiencing different things at different times. So this message will be different for everybody, but the importance is that you hold the line for yourself, for whatever that is. One last card to close this out is the Don't Back Down card. Stand up for what you believe is right. And so I think this is an echo of some of those cards that are just like, be truthful and honest with yourself about what you want, and then do not say no to yourself. Any decision that you make has the intentionality to get you to where you want to go. And so if you keep making those choices, then this expansion happens so fast and so natural that you don't have to fight yourself. There's definitely something here about the constriction and fighting yourself. And that World card is just, again, busting out of something that had kept you tight. And I think that was us keeping ourselves tight. That necessary part of the actual cocooning process where the caterpillar has to go inward to then expand outward. So this is a natural process talking about winter to spring, but the soul's winter to spring and what that could mean for you. I am going to link the Fantasia video in the description box because it's so beautiful. Even if you just watch a couple minutes of it, it's a very, very powerful visual to kind of show you what I'm talking about here. So I always like to offer as many visuals as I can. I'm a visual artist. That's kind of the way I identify with things. And to me, media is so healing because it shows us. And they always say the most powerful way is show, don't tell. So I can stand here and talk all day long, but if you saw a video that showed you something, the heart of my message, it would reach and touch a part of your soul that much faster. Not that this is a bad medium, but this is just maybe the top layer of it. And then you watch a video that touches you or gut punches you or whatever reaction, and you're like, oh shit, this is the heart of that message. And now I can't unsee it. So, whatever you can't unsee, acknowledge it and bring it to the light. Bring it out into the light and examine it. And even the fears, even the worst fears, the worst things we've ever done, the worst shames that we've ever had or experienced, bring it out into the light. Really, truly look at it for what it is. And it really does take away a lot of the power or the oomph or the shame that keeps something kind of hidden, you know? So don't back down. Things are coming together, okay? In this really divine, beautiful way. So I hope this message had value for you. Mwah! Until next time, have a beautiful day.